Welcome, dummies, to Fantasy Football for Dummies. Today I'll be going over Week 8 trade values. This past week we saw a lot of our guys went ahead did really well. Some of them are duds. It's going to happen, such as Calvin Ridley. It's going to happen sometimes. We're going to be wrong every once in a while. We had guys like Jacoby Myers and Christian Kirk who are continuing to flourish. So maybe we have to go ahead and see those guys as maybe they're a little bit better than we think. Maybe they're flukes still. It happens sometimes. We also see guys like Puka Nacua, who we've been high on all year when everybody's been trying to say sell them. We've seen guys like that go ahead and have fantastic weeks once again. So I'm going to tell you some trade values about some people we should be going out to get right now. And you're not going to get better deals than this throughout the whole entire season. So make sure to jump on this week 8. And make sure to follow more of my content, Fantasy Football for Dummies. I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, and I am on X, formerly known as Twitter. So I'll be continuing to give you guys some more content to win your leagues against your league dummies. Okay? Thank you, dummies. First off, I have Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler, we know, is a guy who's going to go ahead and be a top 5 back throughout the rest of the season, barring injury. We saw Kelly go ahead and get that long touchdown run and stole that from Ekeler. I don't see how Ekeler is not going to come back and do better than he did the last week. Or I don't see how he's going to do any worse. You saw Joshua Kelly didn't do anything while Ekeler is gone, and all of a sudden he gets this amazing 60-yard touchdown. You're like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? The reason is that he's gonna get a lot of opportunities, and he's more talented than Joshua Kelly, and he's in a high-flying Chargers offense that will throw him the ball and run him the ball. Go ahead and trade for him right now. You should not be trying to trade him away. Trade for him, please. Trust me on this one. Austin Ekeler is going to be a top 5 back rest of season. No doubt about it. If you could trade guys like Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara riding off these high weeks, I think you might be able to get some deals off those league dummies of yours. It's going to happen sometimes. If you can't, there's little to nothing I wouldn't trade for Austin Ekeler right now. Austin Ekeler could be considered a top 2, top 3 guy in fantasy. Maybe right behind Christian McCaffrey, maybe right behind Jamar Chase, people like that. Next up, I have Justin Jefferson. This one's an odd one. Justin Jefferson is still injured. Yes, I know. But when he comes back, what can we get him for? If we're sitting here at 7-0, 6-1, 5-2, and you look like you're going to be banking the playoffs, you might be wanting to get Justin Jefferson. I would be trying to trade guys like Chris Olave, who just got in trouble this past week, and on Thursday night did not look like anything special. Derek Carr doesn't seem to like him. He hasn't seemed to find rhythm in this offense, as well as Michael Thomas might be back. Taysom Hill's getting some looks at tight end. I'm not sold on Chris Olave this year. I was in the beginning. I'm not now. Sometimes it's time to fly off that ship, jump off that airplane. I'm jumping off. Another one I'm dropping off of is Adam Thielen. I would be trading Adam Thielen for Justin Jefferson, no doubt about it. Just take him. Adam Thielen, I think, has been doing really well. I think he might continue to do really well. Ultimately, I would rather have Justin Jefferson than Adam Thielen. I believe he was not. I don't think he was there. Yes. Yeah, he was there for a little bit with Justin Jefferson. We saw how much more talented Justin Jefferson was as a rookie compared to Adam Thielen. Next up, I have Bijan Robinson, the oddest fantasy game I think we could have ever thought of. A guy who is not out but not playing. Arthur Smith might be getting in trouble for that one, but it doesn't matter to me. He probably heard Bijan Robinson might be sick. He's your top end pick and complete superstar there on offense. He probably didn't want to get him injured, having headaches or sickness, whatever it was. The weird part was he had a carry for, I believe it was 3 yards, kind of a strange little stat line there. I'd be trying to go get this guy. They're not going to be giving him one carry each week. Aaron Jones. I know the free Aaron Jones people will be kind of mad about this, but Aaron Jones is not good anymore. He is not a fantasy asset. He is not a guy you want to go get. He's a guy you want to trade away. Another one, James Cook. James Cook is still getting some carries taken away from him. Latavius Murray seems to be getting carries. Josh Allen runs some. And it seems the Bills have been down a lot this year. I don't know what's going on, but I would be trading him for Bijan Robinson, no doubt. There's a lot of other trades I would be making too. But if you're going to get the best bang for your buck, those are the guys I'm trading. Next up is a little different. It's Calvin Ridley. We were wrong. We were wrong last week on Calvin Ridley. We had him ranked really high. He ends up getting one catch. They're trying to target him. They're trying to get him the ball. They can't seem to find a way to, which is mind-blowing to me. I mean, this was someone with the Falcons who you could not get enough of, and they were force-feeding him, and it was working. And they gave up a lot to get him to the Jaguars, and all of a sudden Christian Kirk is the guy there. I don't see Christian Kirk outperforming Calvin Ridley for the rest of the season. Sorry, Christian Kirk fans. I do have to change a little bit. Christian Kirk's a little bit better than and used a lot more than we thought he would be. I think he's going to be a little bit more hit or miss here on out, but he's still a fantasy starter. As will Calvin Ridley. I think he, again, is going to... You have to still value him a little lower than we did. He's going to be more hit or miss, just as Christian Kirk will. I think whenever Zay Jones comes back, they're going to be using a lot of Zay Jones, and then that's where Calvin Ridley thrives. Considering Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley kind of have similar talents, talent-wise, which is kind of odd. But I'd be trading Gabe Davis to get Calvin Ridley. I'd be getting Terry McLaurin to get Calvin Ridley. They're still trying to get him the ball. He had a bad game. And he's only going to get better with this offense, with Trevor Lawrence there. Doug Peterson's the head coach. We're going to have a lot of play calling. Good play calling going towards Calvin Ridley's way. Next up, Breece Hall. Breece Hall's another one that I have loved the whole entire season. We should be getting stock of Breece Hall, especially in Dynasty. Breece Hall is sitting here just torching every single team, just as he did last year, like he was never injured. So go out, get this guy for anything. I have Alvin Kamara, even Kenneth Walker. I know I'm pretty high on Kenneth Walker. I would trade Kenneth Walker for Breece Hall. Next up, Davante Adams. Another strange situation where he was complaining to get force-fed the ball. They still lost. Strange situation. It's not the situation he hoped for with Josh McDaniels and the Raiders offense. He expected his best friend Derek Carr to be throwing him the ball. Instead, he has the backups of the Raiders who are just a muddied mess right now. It's amazing that the record is what it is right now. If you could take one thing, though, out of this, is that Davante Adams may be the most talented receiver in the whole entire NFL, and you could be getting him for cheap. It doesn't matter who is throwing him the ball. He will get his stats. He will get catches. He will get yards. He will get touchdowns. There's no doubt about it. Go get him. Same thing with Garrett Wilson, another top receiver. Doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. Even with Zach Wilson doing well, it's another reason why I love Garrett Wilson. Go out and get Davante Adams for the value. Again, Chris Olave, I'm not very high on. DJ Moore, I could see him possibly doing well, but I'd still trade him for Davante Adams. Next up, I have Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard had a bye week. A lot of people aren't really focused on Tony Pollard right now. They might have forgotten how good he is. So take advantage of people having these bye weeks and see what you can get. Worst thing is people say no, or they don't answer you. We know how that goes in the fantasy trade world. Go ahead and try to get Tony Pollard. Maybe trade DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, somebody like that for Tony Pollard. I see him doing really well the rest of the season, top 10 back for sure. Another guy I really love and that did really well, or maybe not really well, but did well last week and didn't make me look like an idiot, which we us dummies always hope for. Rashee Rice. Go out and get this guy. This guy is the number one receiver for a Kansas City Chiefs offense that has Patrick Mahomes. Teams will start to figure out how to cover Kelce. Maybe not figure out, but they will somewhat be able to limit Kelce. I don't see Kelce doing as well as he will be the rest of the season, as he has the rest of the season, I should say. But that being said, he's still going to do really well. But Rashee Rice is going to get his. He's incredibly talented. PFF scores have him rated as like top 20 wide receiver. Go out and get this guy. He's a rookie receiver. We know how they do at the middle to end of year. Go out and get him. He will be a starter rest of season if my life depends on it. Okay? So go ahead and do that. I know a lot of people out there kind of not so... They're not so hot on Rashee Rice like I am. But that's what we have to take advantage of. The people that will get taken advantage of, and will use recency bias or any kind of bias. I see Rashee Rice being a top-end wide receiver. And you can trade DeAndre Hopkins for him, a guy who's fell off, and another guy, Tyler Lockett. I see Rashee Rice being better than those two rest of the season, no doubt. At the very least, a good value. Next up, we have Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, we know how this goes. Down week, up week, down week. He's a roller coaster ride, but he's on a down week. Buy the dip. And it's a pretty good dip, too. So I'd trade a guy like Gabe Davis, George Pickens for him. I wouldn't say go out and sell the farm for him. I would say, though, he is a number one wide receiver, and the Browns will find a quarterback out there that will throw Amari Cooper the ball. We've seen this in the past. We've seen it in the present. We will see it in the future. Go get Amari Cooper. Last but not least, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Another guy who is a rookie and will end up surprising a lot of people by end of year. They're going to use this guy. He had a pretty good game, 60 yards, touchdown, similar to Rice. Another guy I'm really high on. By end of season, I see him just taking over, man. He is that good, and we haven't seen the talent yet completely used. So please, Pete Carroll, give him the ball. Don't make me look like an idiot. And guys, go trade for these guys, such as Jackson Smith-Njigba. Trade Jerry Jeudy, Romeo Doubs for him. Okay? Now, this all being said, make sure to make smart trades. Make sure to win your leagues with these trades. Make sure that you are following me to win your fantasy football leagues. Okay, dummies, I'll see you next time. All right? Peace out.